I don't know. I don't know. The theory sounded right. The worst thing that was going to happen is I was going to lose a few pounds. So why not? This is the Norwalk. I decided on the Norwalk juicer because of all the things that are good about Norwalk. But we use it every single day, 2 or 3 times a day. And Bobby drinks only our purified water and various different juices from that Norwalk. I then wanted to clean the air up in the home. I knew Bobby was going to be without an immune system, and so I set to make our home an insular, sterile bubble as much as I could. And this machine is by a company called EcoQuest, and I decided that it contained the best balance of features for what I needed. But we really did notice the difference in the air quality in our home. This is a portable version of the same machine. We took this everywhere. This went in the car with us. It went in Bobby's hospital rooms. It was always by his side. Now, this is Bobby at day 40 of his chemotherapy. The other kids, they were losing lots of weight, some of them vomiting every 90 minutes and going from infection to infection to infection. Bobby had lost no weight. He had not been sick once, and he had had no infections. I knew then that this approach was really working. Bob was eating nothing from a tin, jar, carton, packet or bottle, and of course no dairy, only local, organic, unpasteurised goat's milk. He was drinking lots of fresh fruit and vegetable juices, eating tons of black grapes along the Joanna Brandt protocol, flaxseed oil and cottage cheese, again Joanna Budvig, and basically all the foods thought to hinder cancer and no foods that would help the cancer. I'd also consulted an integrated cancer specialist by the name of Dr. Etienne Calabou in Harley Street in London. He'd ordered lots and lots of blood, stool and urine testing, and they'd been carried out, and so Bob was on a pretty heavyweight supplement program, over 40 different things a day, but he never complained once. The hospital re-scanned Bobby at day 40. They did more bone marrow biopsies and trophines. And guess what? The biopsies and trophines were clear of disease, and the tumours on his right thigh bone had gone. His primary tumour in his abdomen had shrunk by more than 50% and showed extensive calcification. Bobby is car mad. I mean, he is absolutely vehicle mad. I guess it's from my motor trade background. And that car belongs to Mr. Uri Geller. Now, he taught us so much about positive thinking. And the main thing, the one thing that I really took away with me was he told us, do not think about what you do not want. Don't give it headspace. We didn't ever allow ourselves to think, what if? And yes, Bobby can bend spoons with his mind. This is Bobby's far infrared sauna. He goes in it for 30 to 60 minutes every morning after breakfast. This is a steam sauna, an ozone generator that I bought that was used in conjunction with with a bottle of oxygen to get ozone into him. He didn't like this too much because the sweat running down his body tickled him, so we had trouble getting him into it. But I'm convinced that Bob, who is really so very reasonable and mild-mannered, and it's due to his natural diet. We don't have tantrums. We don't have shouting and screaming. I mean, you can reason with the boy for a 5-year-old that he is now. He's just so reasonable. And I see all these other kids, and it's all about the food. I asked the oncologists if parasites could have a part in Bobby's neuroblastoma, and I was sneered at. They said, Mr. Wright, if we lived in the tropics or in Victorian times, maybe, but no, not parasites, not in the United Kingdom in the 21st century. One of the tests we had done was a stool test for parasites, and guess what? He had 2 microscopic parasites and pinworms. So we followed Hilda Clark's protocol with this zapper, used the wormwood, the cloves, the black walnut hull, as she says, and 20 days after starting, Bob's stools were alive with worms. I checked every one of them. Although it is strange how, as a parent, I now get satisfaction from a well-formed stool. Those of you familiar with the Clark zapper will know that plate zapping is thought to be most effective, but the possibility of having Bob sit still next to this plate zapper for hours on end was impossible. So what I did, this lid here is a lid for a little plastic tub. I fitted the plates inside. We put the bottles inside and put it all in a rucksack, and he just ran around with his rucksack on and did his stuff. Problem solved. I read about the work of Royal Rife. And after much research, I personally chose the resonant light machine from Canada. Now, the first time we used this machine, Bobby had a definite Herxheimer detox reaction. I won't go into what happened, but I can assure you he did. Now, he loves this machine so much, and he's always asking for it to be on. And when I asked him why he liked it, he said because it made his tummy feel warm, and he put his hand directly on top of his tumour. Now, he was 3. He didn't know where it was. And we still use the light for maintenance, and I really do believe in this machine. And I don't sell them. I just really believe in it. This is my check chart. Not that I'm a very organised person. It records at the top 20 minutes of trampoline, which he goes on every single day. It records 40 minutes of walking, which he does every single day. We record all his school time because we educate him at home, because it is the only way that I can be fanatical about his diet and ensure that no well-minding people give him chocolate, candy, soda. Go down again, glasses of water. He has at least 5 glasses of water a day. Every time he goes to the toilet, whatever he wheezes out, we just replace it with a similar amount of water. There's his pH. We record all of his pHs through the course of the day, and we're looking for this to start at 6.5, somewhere around there, and to increase during the course of the day. We started this when he was carrying tumour, and for him to test 5.25 was not unusual. But as time went on, it got higher and higher and higher, and from time to time we even get an 8. And finally, at the bottom is the resonant light machine. What banks were run on what day at what time.